welcome to the Rope Punch Gaming Podcast, E3 edition, Bethesda edition. I didn't plan out how I was going to say that properly.
You did well there, nice one.
So, yeah. So today I am joined by Jack Slade.
Hey.
And his pretzels.
Yeah.
And Jake Evans and his static face.
Well, you know.
It sounds like you just called him Jake Evans.
Jake Evans.
Jake Evans.
Jake
That's
Evans,
actually
like
cooler than my actual name.
Yeah, that should be.
Yo, they call me Jake Evans. Yeah, definitely. Let's do it.
Follow me. I've just been down and relentless, so now I'm burping a lot. Yeah, so did I say Fallout 4 edition?
Bethesda.
It should be the Bethesda edition.
You
Did
said
I say that
Bethesda.
right? I should
Yeah,
have
you said
actually have a
Bethesda.
picture of Bethesda there, not Fallout 4, but fuck it, no one else cares about any of the other things that were shown.
I don't know, I thought,
No.
I don't know, man. I thought there was some cool stuff going on there.
Yeah, but was it as cool as Fallout?
Yeah, there was
See?
cool stuff, but there wasn't anything as cool as Fallout. So, we shall, anyway, we've put Fallout on the back burner. We're going to go through, no one else has really seen much of the conference apart from me, which I watched it all earlier. And so this conference was, it had two big games. The rest of it was kind of mostly filler. What was going on? They just, obviously one publishing company that doesn't publish a lot of games tried to do an E3 press conference on their own. They did do a fairly good job, but it was just a lot of filling out time. So the first thing they did was they showed off Doom. Just Doom, not Doom 4 or 5 or whatever the fuck it is, 4 I think. Just Doom. And it's running on their new id Tech 6, or as they made the really funny joke, as they tried to make plenty of jokes in the conference, and they're calling it id Tech 666, which was a...
I called that. I didn't laugh, but I did catch it.
Yeah, that was annoying.
Laughed on the inside.
Yeah. No, I didn't even do that. But yeah, I don't know, I'm not a big fan of Doom. Does anyone really played any of the Dooms?
I loved the originals, Doom 1 and 2, passionately, but ever since after them, I kind of didn't. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. I played number 3, but it wasn't as good as the original.
Yeah, I didn't. I probably did play the originals, but I didn't really.
Well, it's got a huge fan base, though.
It does.
So, I
but
mean,
it's the same.
it's just for nostalgia alone.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same fan base as Quake, though, and it's pretty much the same game as Quake. And,
Yeah.
I might get some hate for that, but that's the truth. It's just the same game, but with different enemies, pretty much. Especially now, anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, they showed it off, and it looked all very interesting. I hated 3 when I tried it, but this looks a lot better than what 3 was.
Do you know? I'd probably play it. I mean, if it when it's like in the shops for about 25 quid, I'll definitely pick it up and play it.
Yeah, I might.
Because it's nostalgia's sake, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I might give it a go at some point. They showed off quite a lot, and some of the stuff looked quite cool. So like graphics wise, it did look amazing. But id Tech is a really good system anyway, so it's going to. And this is like their flagship of showing off id Tech. The graphics, if you saw it, Jack, do you think it's kind of like a combination of Halo and Crysis?
I wasn't really thinking of what to compare it to, but I guess he kind of... kind of right.
It had a very much a Crysis feel with like a touch of Halo, and at least like Halo 4.
I immediately thought Halo at the very start of the gameplay thing, or whether it's gameplay or not, but when he puts a helmet in his hand, you remember that?
Yeah.
Puts a helmet in his hand and then puts it on. That reminded me of Halo. Besides that, yeah, I know what you mean. It still has that sort of... It still looks like Quake to me. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
This kind of goes with the point of like Quake and Doom being the same thing.
Yeah.
I have no problem with it. It looks like it's going to be great, and what they're doing with it looks...
I think it'll be one of those things where it's kind of like story-wise and think. Obviously, I don't know because I haven't played it, but Doom never was really for the story. It was just going around killing demons. You know what I mean? Killing creatures.
Yeah.
It's just a couch shooter, really. I mean, it was like that in '93. I'm pretty sure it's still going to be the same.
It still looks like it's very much going to be
2015,
that.
16, so.
I think what they were going to do is have to...
But I don't think that's a negative. You
No.
know what I mean?
It's very much like what Wolfenstein is, the new Wolfenstein. It's going to be the same kind of game as that.
Yeah.
It looked fairly similar in gameplay, apart from
Well,
with
Doom
like a
and
Doom
Wolfenstein were
twist
really
to it.
similar back in the day,
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
So and funny enough, Wolfenstein's also Bethesda. So, but saying that, I was surprised there wasn't any mention of Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
Well, there was. They had like the list of their games and stuff.
Yeah, that was the
But
Bethesda net thing, wasn't it?
sorry.
The Bethesda net thing.
Yeah. But yeah, they didn't actually. I thought they might have said some new big DLC for Wolfenstein or something, but maybe they're stopping it with just that Old Blood DLC.
I actually didn't play the new Wolfenstein.
I haven't. I did the first level and I didn't
I've
like
got it and I haven't played it yet, but I've got it waiting to play.
Apparently, the first level's nothing like the rest of the game, and the rest of the game's much better than the first level. But I didn't find that out until after I'd already given up after playing. The
I heard
first
that
level.
about. Have you ever heard the game? What's it called? Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. I played the demo for that, and it was absolutely shockingly bad. But then people keep on telling me to go play it because it's a good game. So it's
It was
really
quite good. Yeah,
lets it down.
A bit more like a Fable style MMO. Anyway, so one of the things that I thought was really cool in the gameplay trailer they showed off was the melee attacks. But
I was going to say, yeah.
yeah, they, so Jake, since you didn't see, they have like proper animations for a lot of them, and it seems that you have to actually aim at a limb, and then it does some kind of thing. So if you look at like a leg, he flips up like a leg, flips them onto their back, and then smashes their face in.
Right, yeah, that's
and I
cool.
think it's all the type of enemy as well. So it did repeat the same animation like once, 2 or 3 times. I did notice one of the kills.
I didn't have a problem with that though, because there seemed to be enough variation anyway. My favorite one was when you went behind something and he grabbed just spun it around and grabbed its mouth and just ripped it apart.
Yeah.
That was pretty.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I think there may be it looked like it may be like 1 or 2 different animations per limb per enemy type.
Yeah.
So I think each enemy type's going to have a different way that you can different set of animations, and then within that it's going to have a few variations, just so it's not constantly the same thing.
Yeah.
But the fact of actually choosing the limb to do it to was really interesting in the way that it did it, rather than just walking up and just like having a random set of different things. It was you actually like could choose. I want to take out this leg. I want to do this. And they also had a lot of there was a bit of interaction with the environment as well. I don't know if you noticed, Jack.
Right.
At one point they were on a platform, and he hits one of the enemies. He punches him in the face and then kicks him back and kicks him over a railing.
I don't remember that. Didn't notice that.
Yeah, so there seems to be some kind of interaction with the environment. I don't know what extent that's going to be, but yeah, they were on a raised platform bridge bit, and he walked along and then kicked this one off. So it wasn't like he kicked him and it just happened to fall off. The animation was him like hitting the bars and rolling over the bar properly.
Okay, so that's pretty cool.
It wasn't just ragdoll.
No, it wasn't. It was like the game realised there's a low platform here for him to fall off. Like it actually had it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool actually.
Put in, yeah. So that was interesting. Steamrolling through it though, they showed off their multiplayer, which was just pretty much traditional Doom, Quake.
That's what I'm sort of
deathmatch
excited
style thing.
about, because all of the first-person shooters around now pretty much have taken influence from Doom.
Yeah,
Because that was like Doom was it.
yeah.
So they need to not strip back, but they need to be the pioneers once again. And I think that could
Go
make
back
it
to
quite
the roots,
interesting
you
for
know
what's
what I
going to be coming out. Not necessarily this year, but if they set the bar again when this Doom comes out, it's going to change things. Do you remember when was it Halo 2 or Halo 3? Which was the one that sort of changed it all? And then all of a sudden Modern Warfare came out and then changed that.
I'd say Halo 2 was like the big pinnacle of shooters for a while, because Halo 1 was, but it didn't have Xbox Live.
Exactly.
Because Xbox Live wasn't really about then, but
Halo
Xbox Live
2,
launched
Halo 3,
with Halo 2.
Yeah. And then Modern Warfare came along and just wiped the floor with it.
Yeah,
Even though I love Halo, but I mean, it was the game that kind of did that.
yeah.
Well,
So
it made it easily sort of like a lot of shooters that are quite hard to pick up. Like like think about Halo. Like, yeah, it's a great game. It is a great shooter, and it's quite easy to pick up. But a lot of people don't have the motivation to just pick it up and go. Where Call of Duty is so easily picked up and
You're saying
fucking. You know what
Halo's
I mean? It's
easy
like,
to pick up, but it's hard to master.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Where Call of Duty is kind of that game where no matter how, your skill level, you would play that game and enjoy it. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
You won't just get
yeah,
pissed off because you're not doing well. So that's
yeah,
the thing. Like Call of Duty is so accessible, easily playable and accessible. It's like FIFA. Do you know what I mean? It's like such a big thing. It's like every gamer has at least played it. Do you know
yeah,
what I mean?
exactly.
Like whether you like it or hate it, you can't turn around and say it's bad because look how famous the goddamn thing is. So
yeah.
I just think if Doom can do that again, then it's going to really make things
yeah, make
interesting.
it if it becomes really user friendly, it will just hit off like wildfire. So
Well, that's why that they sort of announced what was it called? The bloody what was it called? The map.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I don't know if they will change like the face of shooters again, but the snap map is what they
That
called
was
it,
it.
which is a terrible name.
It is a terrible name. I couldn't remember it. I knew it was something map.
That's basically their Jake. That's their level editor. It's almost like making a mod for the game because it's
It
not
looked
just
like a great idea.
it. Yeah, it was Forge from Halo times like fuck. It wasn't like you didn't have a set level. You actually created. You had set rooms. It looked like, but you could change everything in the room.
Yeah, you
And
can
then
even
so
change the way that the game actually behaves. You can change the way the
yeah,
enemies behave when
that's
you
the
shoot
more
them.
interesting bit.
It's like you can change every aspect of what happens in this.
Yeah, but
That's the thing that's interesting.
the annoying thing was they didn't show off anything that amazing. Like they sounded all this thing, said all this stuff that sounded amazing, and then they were like, and here's a game mode where it's horde mode, and it's like
Yeah.
that's interesting that people have the power to be able to
Yeah,
make that
I didn't
themselves,
like
but
that they
that's
just
not.
sort of mentioned horde mode, but different variations of horde mode. It didn't.
Yeah,
But
didn't
maybe
go
that's
into it
because that's
enough.
all they've managed to. Maybe it was kind of a new addition, and they only managed to do that sort of thing by E3.
yeah.
I know that there's much more that you can do.
Yeah, I just think it could have been like more interesting if they were like, I don't know, because it seemed like it was almost on level with say like Project Spark, where you can just do fucking Project Spark. You can
yeah,
do
I mean, I
anything
was
you want.
so pumped for that, and then it didn't turn. I don't know. I haven't really
It's
played
great.
it as much.
It's
It's a really
great,
yeah.
but
I
it
know
just
it's really
hasn't
good,
like
but I think
caught on.
it's yeah. It needs to have more. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know the word to describe it. Like, when I saw it and what I thought it would be, and then I got my hands on it, and it just didn't feel the same. Do you know what I mean? It didn't
Yeah,
have
yeah,
that.
I know what you mean. I kind of felt the same with it, but
Like, I felt restricted, but I don't know if that's because I didn't really know how to use it or.
I think that's mostly why. It is a really hard thing to actually know what you can do, but there's crazy shit like it. Basically, if anyone hasn't seen it, it looks like Fable in a way. Kind
Yeah,
of
and you can
plays a
give
bit
things
like it, but
brains and essence and things
yeah.
like
But
that.
then when I've seen things that are like a 2D puzzle or like a marble kind of game, and all this other stuff that it's just a creation engine that has like this is a set kind of thing you can do, and there's a set game here, but then you can do everything else with it, and that's what I'm
Yeah.
kind of hoping something similar to that with the snap map from Doom. So like it'd be interesting if if they showed off like I don't know a dancing competition.
Yeah.
Fucking just have all the people instead of shooting,
I mean, I do
they have
love
to
the
do
idea
something
of a
different.
game
Like,
where the game is literally you make games. Like that.
There was
It's great.
something which
I
I
don't
saw that was
understand how
quite.
that hasn't been used yet.
There's something that I was trying to find the tweet just then. I can't remember who it was. It might have been MCV or IGN. Anyway, they were basically saying, "Will the snap map mode change the way that developers think about, or well, specifically Call of Duty developers? Will it change the way they think about releasing DLC or charging for DLC?
mm,
Because if people can actually create these maps and game modes and stuff for free, why would it's going to be a big
yeah, well, I still, I don't know what it's going to be like, but with the Unreal, with the new Unreal tournament,
Yeah.
there's a whole area of that which is mods and stuff, and they actually have a bit where you sell your mods,
Yeah.
like it
All right.
was like that thing that happened with Skyrim on Steam that everyone hated. That's actually built into how Unreal Tournament is, the new one, and it seems to be going pretty far. I think the game's in beta or something, but it's accessible. Um, and yeah, there's actually a storefront for people to sell their maps and stuff like that on there. So that is a direct competition to the Call of Duty model or just any other shooter DLC of selling maps and stuff
Yeah.
like that. That is directly opposing that kind of new tradition. Um, so yeah, I think that's a bigger rival than Snap Map seems so far. But Snap Map could be the same kind of thing. It could just mess with everything that has been set up with DLC, and then what a company's going to do then? What's their comeback to that? What?
Which is the thing. That's why I think it could be quite revolutionary.
Yeah,
Once again, maybe it won't be gameplay wise. Maybe there's nothing else that you can really do. But if they do it this way, it could really make things quite interesting. And
yeah,
Well, yeah, it just adds a different element to what is obviously generally taken as a game or what you can do with a game. It just
I
adds
just want to
another thing,
quickly.
like
Oh no, no, carry on.
no, it's
Okay,
fine.
you're done
Yeah,
then,
that's
that's
pretty
fine.
much it.
Okay. I just want to say that we were saying like, well, let's talk about the other smaller games first, and then we spent such a long fucking time on Doom,
I know, I
Yeah,
know.
we've barely got Fallout now.
We're
and then
ignored.
we got for by the time that people watch or listen to this, they might not realize that we're just about to watch the Microsoft conference, which is in 13 minutes.
13.
Yeah.
Oh, you're kidding me. Okay, well, it's going to start late for one.
No, it won't.
It will. They always start late.
No, they don't.
They do. They're always late. Anyway, right. Okay, let's steamroll through the rest of this. They did a thing about the Bethesda network and a bit about mods. So that was after Doom, and it seems like they might be trying to put mods more into more games of theirs, or maybe I don't know, more snap map style stuff.
Yeah.
Because they already have obviously like the GEC with Fallout, where it's a really easy way to make mods, and Skyrim. I
Yeah.
can't remember what they called it, but there was that thing where it's really easy to make mods with that as well. So if they're going to be making more stuff like that for the rest of their games, that's quite an interesting feature. And then they also one small bit of the sentence that he said that I found was very interesting. That I don't know if anyone else noticed it, seen it, but he said I can't remember exactly what he said, but he was talking about the mods, and he said mods regardless of the system.
I didn't notice him say that.
Yeah, it was either
That could be quite
regardless of the
interesting.
system or platform, and I don't know if that was a hint to possibly coming
Console.
onto consoles.
Yeah, maybe that's the case, but it could really be a case of the SnapMap stuff, or that you have to do it via a web browser or something, and then upload it, and then you can download it.
Yeah,
Maybe
I imagine it would be possibly uploaded to a server,
Yeah.
and then that
Do you
would all go. That would like have a storefront, and then you could download stuff onto the console, whether
Yeah,
priced or not.
that's something I thought should have. I mean, like, should easily, well, not easily, but I mean, that's something. Obviously, we're moving forward in generations of console gaming. Like, I thought that like freedom in what you want to do as a gamer. Like, that's one of the reasons I've always wanted to get PC was to play games like Fallout and things like that
Yeah.
because some of the mods can just add to the game.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that would be cool. Like the idea of a library, and you can just download like top-rated ones, and obviously they're all checked by the developers, so there's no like game or breaking ones.
Well, they
or
are kind of
whatever.
already
I don't
doing
know.
that with Rockstar Social Club with GTA. Not so much with maps. Well, no, to an extent maps, but I mean, there are modes and
Yeah,
at least
yeah, yeah.
race
Like,
maps that are
and they like
done
make their
like
own
that.
sort of weird modes, like when they're playing.
that's pretty
It's pretty
cool.
cool.
Yeah. Right, so we're going to have to move on. Dishonored 2. This is going to take up more time today as well.
Dude, we should just do the Fallout part in a different video.
I was just thinking that exact thing. Because there's no way we're going to fit Fallout into like 5 minutes. Yeah, Dishonored 2. That I was kind of hoping it was going to be Prey 2, to be honest.
No,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
went
but
away
that
a
got
long time
cancelled
ago,
though,
dude.
didn't it?
Well, no, kind of. They cancelled it, and then there was word that they'd given it to Arcane Studios.
But it was like wasn't a lot of it was already like developed, like levels, characters,
Yeah,
story. I mean, a lot of it was already done.
Apparently, they scrapped everything, and then they said that they were giving it to Arcane Studios, and Arcane Studios didn't want to take it because it wasn't their own property, or they just didn't care.
Because
And
that looked
then,
great, like Alien Bounty Hunter. That looked sick.
yeah, Bethesda convinced Arcane to take on the project by saying, "Just imagine it's a System Shock sequel."
Yeah.
So it was kind of an interesting thing, and they were like, "Oh yeah, if we think about it like that, then we'd do it." But I guess maybe maybe they were already working on Dishonored 2. I don't know. So that might just be something that they do later on.
Do you know what? I mean, Dishonored
Or
has obviously got a really big like fan base, but
yeah,
I wasn't. I mean, yeah, I thought it was a fun game to play, but I wasn't blown away by the game anyway.
yeah,
So, I mean, but I don't know. It's hard to not insult people. Like, yeah, it's an awesome game, but there's a lot more other games at the moment which I'm like, oh, I mean, yeah, it's cool, yeah, awesome, but I was kind of like you said, hoping for other stuff.
yeah. Did actually really like Dishonored, but I can see.
Dishonored was amazing. So I was distracted for a little bit because I could hear shit outside and I had to mute the mic. But no, Dishonored was amazing.
I really did like
rarely
it
ever
a
play
lot,
through
but
games more
it's
than
just
once. Huh?
yeah, I really liked it a lot. I liked the fact that you could do the whole game like without killing anyone. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yep.
things like that. But yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, I don't know about maybe it was the visual style. It just put me off a bit. And it was like Fable, like steampunk style, which was awesome. But the graphical, very graphic novel. But I don't know. That's just personal opinion. I'm not saying it's a bad game. It's just personal preference, isn't it? So
yeah. All right, so we'll just roll over some of the things that they did put out in this trailer that they had. So by default, it seems that it's a female protagonist, which is quite cool. I don't actually know. I was hearing that they said Emily something. I think that's the little girl from the first game.
Yeah, I think so.
So this would be what, like a
I can't remember her name. I think no, it is Emily. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me just.
so this would be like a 20-year time skip from
Emily Caldwin. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is the girl. So
yeah. So
basically, when you
she's
it's
only
basically the one you got to try and save, and yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
that's pretty cool. I do like that idea.
yeah. So she's what, like she wasn't any older than 10, was she, in the first one? I can't
She
remember.
was a kid for sure, and
So
then
it's got to be like 15 to 20 years or so, because she didn't look like a young woman in this either.
it's it's interesting as well. The abilities. I don't know if you were just about to go to that or not, but it's interesting
Yeah.
to see like the abilities that she had and how. And then the voice, I'm assuming, would have been. I don't know. I don't know if it was Corvo or not because you didn't hear Corvo's voice in the first one anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. They did say, yeah, that Corvo's coming back as another playable character. So you can play as him
well,
or
yeah, they said
Emily.
you can play for the first time as
Yeah,
Emily.
but wouldn't that annoy some people? The fact that you could see Corvo's face because he's obviously because he was faceless. It was an expectation, wasn't it?
Hang on a minute. I just got sent a.
Yeah, I don't know.
What the fuck is that?
But yeah, so yeah, because they played around with having a different protagonist in DLC for Dishonored 1, where there was one bit where you played as Dowd, who was
The assassin, yeah.
Assassin, yeah. And
See, I never actually got around to doing the DLC. I've got it, but I never played it.
Yeah, I didn't actually either personally, but so he had a slight different set of abilities, I think, but still fairly similar to Corvo's. So it seems that because what's it? The outsider, the stranger. I can't remember. That's the guy that gives people the powers. He's like some godly being.
Yeah, I can't remember.
It seems interesting what she can do, and it's nice that it seems like they're slightly different abilities, but
Yeah.
similar. If that
Yeah,
makes sense.
they were fairly similar, apart from that weird thing she did right at the end of the trailer. So basically, she has a blink, which instead of
drop down,
blinking,
you know? Yeah.
it's like a tentacle kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I think she must, and then at the end of the trailer, yeah, she like crouched down, like went on her hands and knees, and like it looked like she was turning into like a beast or something.
Yeah, it was interesting.
So I think she may have some power connected to some kind of animal kind of thing, maybe.
But it's going to be interesting to see how, because at the very end of it, Corvo's mask got picked up.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought was quite interesting. I know they said that you can play as Corvo, but in what respect and how? That's the thing.
Like, would it be flashbacks? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Yeah, because he's going to be old now.
yeah, he's going to be pretty old. I mean, he was what, in his 30s? Like, when in the first game?
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
got
at
to
least
be
mid
at like
30s.
30, 40 something, and then depending on how long after this is, he's going to be like, I mean, 50's not exactly that old, but it's quite old to be jumping around assassinating people and
That's it. Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, it could be that it's flashbacks, or it could be some other way. It could just be that it is the same timeline, but I don't know.
Yeah.
They didn't have a release date for it. They just said it will come out, and then they announced the yeah. That was quite funny how they did that.
It
but-
might come out, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Who knows?
But they did give a release date for the definitive edition of Dishonored Definitive Edition, which is a remake, of course. Of course, we love our remakes this generation. They think
Yeah, I
anyway.
know.
And that's coming out in. They didn't actually give us a date. They just gave a time frame, which was autumn. But yeah, that's your chance to play all those DLCs, because that's going to have the 3 DLCs with it, and be obviously the main game and made a little bit prettier. But they didn't really show anything, I don't think, of that. So
No.
I'll probably pick that up
yeah, it'd be
with all
interesting.
the
to see,
DLCs
but-
as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Then they showed off Elder Scrolls Online, which was just a long advert for the game that they released the other day.
Ooh, sorry.
So, well, Jack
I think it's a
likes
great
it.
game. Yeah, I think it's fantastic. Yeah. I originally wasn't
I
going to
know.
get it.
I was the other way around. I was so pumped, and then I started seeing gameplay, and for me, it just rubbed me the wrong way for an Elder Scrolls game.
Yeah, I don't know.
And that's it, really. I was so
I find it
pumped
really
when I saw
similar to the
stuff.
other ones. I don't really see a huge amount of difference apart from that you have different abilities that you can map to the face buttons. It's not a massive amount of difference,
I
in
think
my view.
a lot of people. I heard a lot of hate when the game first came out, but a lot of people seem to be turning around now. So
Yeah,
Well, it's
and
because
they
it
have
was
changed
because it was a
a lot.
monthly fee as well. Like
Yeah.
they changed
I think
things
they've-
like that. Like I thought was a good thing,
Yeah,
definitely.
they changed a lot of
Definitely.
stuff about it. So that's not going to be the only Elder Scrolls game that's current, because they're releasing the Elder Scrolls Legends card game. Which
Whoa.
Now, here's the thing with this. I'm not a card game person at all.
Yeah.
I'm quite enjoying Gwent in The Witcher, and I'm
Yeah.
also, because of
Yeah,
that,
Gwent's
because of
pretty good.
how I've heard it's a bit similar, I've also started playing Hearthstone. And I've been doing that, and I quite enjoyed that. I'm surprised I have. So, because I know a little bit more about the Elder Scrolls, or when I say know a little more, I'm more familiar, I might appreciate this a bit more. I don't know. It depends how they do it.
yeah, but what I'm thinking is this just Bethesda's way of trying to become Blizzard. That they've got a big
Oh, right.
fantasy
It did.
universe MMO, and then they're
Yeah.
basing a card game on that same universe.
Then they're going to do a MOBA.
Yeah, they're doing a MOBA. So even though the MOBA is
Well,
a
let's
slightly
just see.
different MOBA,
Wait until
it's-
Fallout comes out as an MMO. Eh?
Yeah. Oh well, actually, no, that's the other thing. Their MOBA, it doesn't really look like a classic MOBA. But I was thinking when watching that thing, what's it called? Battle Cry.
Yeah.
That looked very much like Overwatch, Blizzard's new
As it reminded
first-person
me
shooter.
of,
That's very, very similar to a MOBA.
it reminded me of Team Fortress.
Yeah, it was
They
fairly
were
Team
trying to be a bit
Fortress. That's what
Bally.
Have you seen Overwatch?
No, I
Because
haven't.
that's
I haven't seen any of it.
It's quite similar to Team Fortress.
Oh,
It's like this new breed of like kind of a cross of MOBA and like shooter deathmatch games.
Oh, see, E3 has the stream has started.
Okay, well that brings us anyway to Fallout. So as they did with the show, they did a joke saying they were going to end the show early, but we're going to end this show early and we'll come back in a bit to.
Yeah, you see, they
Fallout.
didn't leave and come back, but we are going to leave
Yeah.
and also come back.
Yeah. So it's quite fitting in a way.
And basically, you know, we're obviously we're as big as Bethesda, so yeah, it's fine.
bigger.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I would say bigger.
Yeah, you're right.
So yeah, we're going to go and enjoy ourselves on Microsoft, and then we'll come back all micro hard.
Hey.